Hello. We're going to start with the explanation of the code. Um, as you can see, we have several files here, but we're going to start with the main. In the main, we have the code of the library live display. This library comes from this file that we're going to explain later on in the video. After that, we have the main function. Inside of this main function, we have a for loop. This for loop is going to uh, execute all the instructions that are inside of it. After that, we're going to repeat it and repeat it until the end, until we disconnect or we turn off the connection between the display between the microcontroller and our computer. Sorry. And these instructions consist of functions that those functions in the the other files that we're going to explain, of course. For example, starting with the first line, we have the count ask function. This function consists into show in the display an account of on an ascending way. It means that we're going to count from 0 to 9. After that, we have a delay. Delay consists of 500 microseconds. This is the time that it's going to wait until it executes the following instruction that consists on a call of the function that is named countDesc. CountDesc is going to do a similar work as the previous one, but it's going to count in a descending way, in a downward way. It's going to count from 9 to 0. After that, we have other delay, following by a function that is called show ABC. This function consists in show to alphabet to A to zeta in the display. After that, we have a delay in the same amount of time as you can see. After that, we have a function that is called show word, and this function has an argument that is a string. This string is receiving my name that is going to show in the display. And after that, we go this structure, these instructions, they are going to be repeated in an infinite way. Well, continue with the explanation. We're going to explain the libdisplay.h. These files is going to be the connection between our library and our main code. As you can see, we have this keyword that is called extern. I read that this keyword help us to extern the variables, and for this case we're extern functions in order to be called in the main code. For example, we have the externation of the count ask. This function, as you can see, are this function is the same that we are calling in the main code. The, this is the count ask. This file helps us to do those connections between the library and between the main code. It's just that the work that it does. But the main focus is in this file that is called light display. In this file, we are included the light display because we're going to do the communication between them. But we have the first. We're going to explain in the whole functions that they are very interesting. Starting with the first one that is called void. Sorry, that is called the function of. The function of consists in just to give uh, zeros in the order and in the whole registers that we have. Um, it is just writing that information in a terms of an hexadecimal way. I'm going to code that. Sorry. Uh, this function called of called here. This function is called of. This function is going to write in these registers that we have. They're going to write in hexadecimal way. They're going to write zeros. It means that in the display they are going to show nothing. That is all that it does. That this function do. Following, we have the function that is called number. This function receives an integer number as a argument of the function. Inside of it, we use the argument as a parameter of a switch case. This switch case is going to evaluate the number, and depending of the number that is received, they're going to write that number in our registers. That this means that it's going to show the number that we are called in our display that is built in a physical way, as we mentioned in the beginning of the video. It is all that this function does. They is just going to receive a number. After that, we're going to uh, select the case that is corresponding to the number, and just to bring it and pop it in the display. Following, we have a function that is called char. This function receives a char character letter that the a char element, a char variable. Sorry, this char variable is going to be the argument that is going to be as a parameter of the switch case. The previous one, it's going to evaluate the letter that is going to be received, and this letter is going to be shown in our physical display. This is all that this uh, function does. This is going to evaluate the letter are going to be shown in the display from A to zeta. Next, we have the function that are interesting. Starting with the count ask. The count ask is going to have a delay of is going to have uh, a variable in an integer way that is 500 that is going to be in microseconds, that is going to have the in this code of the function. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is the for loop. The for loop consists to in iterate uh, iterate from 0 to 9. How it does? We're going to start from 0, as you can see. We're going to start at 0 until until this variable reach this number. When this variable reach the number 10, it's going to stop. For example, inside of it we have the function that is called num1. It's going to have this. We're going to have the value. It's going to have the value of this variable, and it's going to call this function For example, for the first iteration, we're going to have 0. It's going to take the 0, I'm going to put the 0 inside of it, and it's going to call this function. The 0 is going to be the argument of this function, and this is going to be called. That is called num. So it's going to reach the number 0 and show it in the display. After that, it's going to have a delay, and after that, it's going to turn off the whole display. And it's going to be repeated after each the number 9, because the instruction is sentences to reach the number 9, because we try to reach the number 10. This instruction, it broke up. So this is the main function of the count ask. Following, we have the function that is count desk, that is going to do a similar work that's the previous one, but it's going to count in a descending way, because we have this instruction. Uh, we are saying that is going to less one by one in this variable, and this is the same that happened in this variable, but it's going to count in ascending way. This is going to sum, and this is going to rest the number. So it's going to sum 1, 2, 3. For this one, is going to rest the numbers. It's going to have 9, and later on we're going to have 0. Sorry, we're going to have 8, and later we're going to have 7, and so on. But here it functions in a similar way as this one. This here we're going to take the number as an argument of the function called num, and it's going to be called it and look for the number, or look for the case, and show it in the display. That's all the work that this function does, and it's going to repeat it almost the same instruction. That is going to call the number. After that, is going to do a delay, and after that, it's going to uh, turn off the whole display. Here we have the function that is shown ABC, that is going to show the whole alphabet. We started that we are creating an array. This array consists contain the whole numbers, sorry, the whole letters of the alphabet. And fun fact I could say of the C is that an array can be considered as a, sorry, this is a string. A string can be considered as an array in the C code. It means that we can iterate in uh, each place of the string. It means that we're going to have an index of each letter. That, for example, if we have the index 0, it means that we are going to receive as a result the number A, the letter A. Well, following, we have the structure of the length. Uh, Something that is curious, that when I was researching information about how to get the length of in a C code, we can have this little count that consists on the use the function sci of. The function sci of is going to return the numbers of bytes that are used along this string. But we don't need that number. We need to specify. We need a specific in a specific way. We need the amount of letters that are inside of it. The number of characters. Here we have the here we have the we are divided that amount in uh, in a unit way. So we are going to have the sides of the first letter. I'm going to divide it by the whole one. I'm going to have the real side of the whole string. We are declaring a variable with a delay that is going to be used later on, and we have the for loop. The for loop is going to count until it reach the length of the array. Sorry, of the string that is going to be considered as array. Why is going to be considered as array? Because we are called the function called char with the index of the letter a, because we're going to have 0 in the first one. We're going to take the 0 here. It means that we're going to have the letters one. We're going to take the letter A. I going to be the letter A as an argument of the function called chart. And we're going to look in the call chart the letter A, the case of the letter A, and return in the display. After that, we're going to have a delay, and we're going to turn off the whole display, and we're going to repeat it until they reach the amount of letters that we have inside of this string. Following, we have the most interesting way, the more interesting one. Sorry, we have here. We have two little functions. Those functions consist in what are the display that we're going to show in and when we call it. For example, we have the function left. They're going to write a number 2. That it means that they're going to we are indicated that we want to show just the the display left. We just want to show it, and the same for the right. We're going to write this number in the register 4 in order to show just the letter or the chart, or we're going to want to show in the display in the right. Well, we're going to start with the last one. That is this function is called the show word, that is going to receive an, a string that we have in the main. This is going to be this one. We're going to take that word that is in a string way, and we're going to calculate the length. After calculating the length, we're going to show in a display the first one letter. We in a specific way we're going to show in the right one, in the right side of the display of, yeah, in the right side of the display we're going to show the first letter, that is going to be the R letter that we have here for this case, of course. But we can put whatever phrase or word that we want to show. We're going to have the index number 0 of the string. I was going to show it in the right display as we mentioned it. We're going to have a little delay. After that, we're going to turn off. And we're going to start with our for loop. This for loop is kind of interesting, but because we're going to iterate until they reach the length of the letter. Of, sorry, of the length of the array. So we're going to start inside of it. We're going to have a variable that is called ct. This is going to be the count, because we are going to have a nested for. This nested for is going to repeat. Is going to start the. Is going to initialize the the variable ct in zero until reach reach the number uh, until reach 20 iterations. But why we are doing that? That's why we cannot write in a LC display in the both LC displays different numbers at the same time. If we want to show a number, it a number or letter, it doesn't matter. If we want to show something in a display that has two displays, it needs to be shown the same letter or the same character at the same time. But if we want to show different way that that like recording on a string in this case, we can do a simulation of as we can show at the same time, but we are not showing, we are showing faster, we're showing faster the instruction, we are running faster the instructions in order to emulate or simulate the that we are showing the different things in the displays. To do that, we're going to take the index of the word, the number one. We're going to take the zero in this case, and we're going to show that letter or chart character in the left display as we are setting here. After that, we're going to have a little time of delay. This is kind of nothing. After that, we're going to turn off, and we're going to call the we're going to take uh, the following index letter. In this case, if we have zero in the first count, we're going to zero plus one. Zero plus one is going to be one. So it's going to have the second one. In this case, it's going to have the letter I. The letter I is going to be shown after the letter R. So we're going to show the letter I in the right display, as you can see. And we're going to show it with a little delay, and it's going to turn it off. And this count, well, these instructions is going to be shown 20 times, but they are showing in a faster way that we're going to see they are going to be showing in the same time. After that, after the 20 iterations, we are going to reset the variable that is called count, because we can differentiate uh, the the index iteration from the count iteration that is going to be that is going to be the count in order to emulate uh, the the shown in the both displays. And so yeah, that's how the those functions works in order to just to call it in the main code, and without giving too much information inside of it like a parameter or something. We're just giving you're actually we are just calling the functions, and we are just passing if it needed, you're going to pass in the arguments, and the work is being behind in this library. So yeah, thank you for all.